Hello and welcome to the second Well of Knowledge training session. In this session, we'll be taking a closer look at Teams. As a reminder, in the last session, we introduced Teams and looked at chat functionality, including GIFs, stickers, and emojis. If you've not yet caught that session, there is a video available on the Well of Knowledge intranet. In this session, we'll take a look at the following: video calls with multiple people, how you can share your screen with others on a call, and I'll show you the interactive whiteboards that can be used to outline ideas visually. We'll then finish the session by looking at accessing files through Teams, including live editing with multiple people, as well as a brief introduction to the wiki feature and how you can add OneNote and Planner. Okay, let's start with video calling. You can use Teams to make video calls in a similar way to Skype, and you can have multiple people in the same call. The easiest way to start a call is by going to the Calls icon over on the left-hand side of the Teams window. Once you go into this section, you'll see suggested contacts in the center of the screen, along with options at the top for adding speed dials and adding groups of people that you regularly call. To start a call, just click the Make a Call button at the bottom. Again, in here you can select from suggested contacts, or you can search for someone just by typing their name. You can add multiple people to the call here as well, to save you adding them all one by one after the call has started. When you're ready to make the call, just click the Video Call button at the bottom. Teams will then ring everybody at the same time and connect them when they answer. Once you're in the call, you can talk as if you're in the same office. You can see who you have called in the main window, and you can see what they're seeing of you down at the bottom right. The really useful thing about Teams is that it can share what's on your computer with everyone on the call. To do this, move your mouse near the bottom of the screen and the icon bar will appear. Select the share icon, and then you'll get a wealth of options. The best one to use is desktop over on the left. Teams will then disappear and show what's on your PC to everyone on the call. You will start being the presenter, but other people in the call can request control. When they do, you'll be asked to either allow or deny. Once you allow control, you will then see multiple mouse pointers, one for you and one for the person who's taking control. In this example, it's Stephen. If another person then requests control, this has to be granted by whoever currently has control. Again, in this case, it's Stephen. So right now, I can't give Senad control. Senad has to wait until Stephen has finished typing and notices Senad's request. When he does, he can pass control over to Senad. Senad's mouse pointer now replaces Stephen's. Senad can make changes to the document, but Stephen and I can't edit at the same time. We can only watch what Senad is doing. This type of screen sharing is best suited for showing things and then discussing them, rather than multiple people working on something at the same time. If you do want to have multiple people working on the same Word or Excel file at the same time, this can be done. I'll show you one way that you can do this later on in this session. This type of screen sharing works particularly well for things that can't be edited. As an example, taking a look at websites. You can then all point at things on the screen while you're discussing them, making it easier to understand exactly what is being discussed, rather than each person looking at their own view of something and not noticing that they're in different places. If you just want to make some quick shared notes or scribbled visualizations, you can use the whiteboard feature in Teams. So, while in the call, go to the share icon, again in the middle of the icon bar, and on the right-hand side, you'll see the Microsoft whiteboard. Select this and it will load an interactive screen that you can all draw on. And here's one we made earlier. You can select from a variety of coloured pens on the right-hand side and draw with your mouse. And if you make a mistake, there's also an eraser. If you want to keep your doodles after the call, you can export the whiteboard as an image by using the menu in the top right. You can also share the whiteboard with people that are not on the call. To do this, click the little person icon at the top right Click this and a web link will be copied to your clipboard. You can then share that via email or by another Teams chat. Currently, the whiteboard feature is only available for calls that have at least 3 people in it. It is coming to one-to-one calls shortly. If you want to be able to use the whiteboard without being in a video call first, or if you want to access whiteboards after your video call, let us know and we can show you how you can do this. Okay, so that's video calls and screen sharing done. Now on to working with documents directly in Teams. You'll remember that with screen sharing in a video call, only one person can control the computer at any one time. Only one person can be editing. However, if your Word or Excel document is saved in Office 365, multiple people can edit it simultaneously. And you can do this directly within Teams. So each channel in Teams will have a Files tab at the top. Click this and you'll see all the files in that team. Click on any file and it will open in a preview mode. To edit the document, click the Edit button at the top. It will then open directly within Teams. Accessing the document this way, rather than screen sharing during a video call, means that other people can edit the document at the same time. You'll see a cursor with their initials marking where they are in the document, the P in this example. And if you hover your mouse over it, it will show their full name. Here we're using the presenter account. You will also notice that their icon or initials will appear under your name at the top right of the screen. As you can see, many people can work on the document at the same time. For simple edits, this works really well, but this way of editing doesn't have all the features that the full desktop version of Word has. There are a number of different ways you can easily open a file from Teams into the desktop version of Word. If you're already editing the file in Teams, you'll see the Open in Desktop app option at the top. If, however, you're in the file list view, you can use the ellipses menu on the right-hand side and select the option from the menu there. Or, if you've already opened the file in preview mode, instead of clicking Edit, just click the arrow to the right of it and select Desktop app. Whichever way you do it, the desktop version of Word will open, giving you full access to all the features. It also gives you a better indication of who is working in the file by showing a pop-up with their full name at the top. So everything I've shown you just here with Word documents works exactly the same for Excel documents. You can access them the same way in Teams and use the same methods to open Excel. And if you open Excel in the desktop app, similarly, you get the pop-up at the top showing you who is in the file. And you can also see their cursor moving around the worksheet, showing you which cell they're looking at or working on. And once again, if you hover your mouse over the cursor, you'll see the name of the person that's working on that cell. So as you can see, all the features for having multiple people work in a document work in a very similar way in Excel as they do in Word. Okay, so I'll now show you the wiki feature that is available within Teams. You can use the wiki as a lightweight way of documenting departmental procedures or for documenting the team or channels itself. Every channel in Teams will have a wiki tab at the top by default. The wiki itself appears as one page, broken into sections. The wiki is designed to be easy to change and keep up to date. After all, out-of-date documentation is worse than not having any documentation at all. Any team member can edit the wiki and add or remove items or sections just by clicking the page and starting to type. For navigation, there is a menu at the top left which shows bookmarks for each of the sections within the wiki, making it easier for people to jump directly to a particular section. If you'd like to know more about the wiki and how it can be used, just let us know and we can show you in detail what's available. Okay, now on to linking Planner and OneNote into Teams. In any channel in Teams, you can add extra tabs by going to the plus icon at the top. If you do, you'll see a whole wealth of options. The ones we're going to focus on right now are Planner, as well as OneNote. Starting with OneNote, if you click OneNote, it will give you the option of adding any existing workbooks that you currently have. or you can just create a new one. So if you find that the wiki is a little bit too simplistic for your documentation needs, it would be worth considering using OneNote instead, as OneNote gives greater flexibility and has more features. Similar to the wiki, OneNote starts as one page. It also allows you to add sections in exactly the same principle as the wiki does. The big difference between the wiki and OneNote is that in OneNote, each section can have multiple pages. This gives you greater flexibility in how you subdivide and categorize different sections of your documentation. Okay. The other thing you can add into Teams is Planner. Works in a very similar way to adding in OneNote. Again, you click the plus icon and select Planner, but I will go into Planner in more detail in a future Well of Knowledge training session. That's everything for this session. Next time, we'll be looking at time management, and I'll go into detail how you can use Planner either to assist you with prioritizing tasks for your own purposes or within your team. We are doing some feedback surveys on this session, so if you could take the time to fill those in and send it back to us, the feedback does help us improve the sessions. And if you do have any questions about Teams, let us know, or take a look at the Well of Knowledge. There's a wide variety of training videos directly from Microsoft on there. That's it. Thank you very much.